We're going to start with Setti Warren, candidate for governor.
Yeah, 2 minutes. How's everyone doing? What a turnout. This is incredible. It is amazing to be with you this morning. First and foremost, two things I want to do. One is point out the fact that I've got to make sure I've got 10,000 signatures to get on the ballot. So if you would be so kind as to sign our nominating papers, Faith has them. So please sign up when you get a moment. The second thing I want to mention is, as you all know, we're getting into caucus time, and I'd love to get your help in organizing the caucuses. I'd love to earn your support. Look, three things I just want to say to you this morning. You all know this is an incredibly important election at a really important time in our country. Three things drove me into this race, and they have to do with my background. First, I'm a military veteran. I enlisted in the Navy a little bit after 9/11 because America was under attack, and I'm a third-generation combat vet. In my time overseas, I did a year in Iraq. I was deployed. I'm a veteran, as I said. I worked with people of different races, religions, backgrounds, different political ideology. We couldn't afford not to work together to get through that year. That has stuck with me since that time when I was deployed in 2008, 2009. We need to do the same thing here in Massachusetts. The second is my 8 years as mayor of the city of Newton, 10th largest city in the state, second highest number of millionaires in the state of Massachusetts and Newton. At the same time, 1 in 8 of my households live at or below the poverty line. This is economic inequality. This is why I got to this race. I inherited a $40 million deficit when I became mayor. I also inherited 2 of the worst conditioned school buildings in the state, and I inherited a situation where a AAA bond rating was going to be downgraded. In the 8 years since I've been mayor, we've eliminated the $40 million structural deficit. We've actually we're building 5 new schools in the next 6 years, 3 of which are done. Next is being constructed right now. We got 2 AAA bond ratings in the city of Newton. We grew a rainy day fund that didn't exist to $22 million. I always say the 2 reasons we got there, every single one of my budgets were based on outcomes for people, and I wasn't afraid to raise revenue at the state level, at the city level. We got to do the same thing on Beacon Hill. Every single one of those budgets need to be based on outcomes for people, and we can't be afraid to raise revenue at the state level. That's why I support the millionaire's tax, so we can reinvest that money in education and transportation. Third, my family. You know, I'm a dad, I'm a husband, 2 children, 9 and 6. I know where I came from. Neither one of my parents grew up with wealth. They both came from 2 tough neighborhoods in New York. My dad purchased the home where I grew up with his GI Bill benefits from the war in Korea. And I grew up in the house that he purchased that home. I grew up with my 2 sisters where I live today with my wife and 2 children, 9 and 6. This is an incredible story, an American story. This is an investment, this GI Bill benefit my dad had for people of modest means, from the government, people of modest means, so they can ensure they make ends meet and their kids can do better than they did. That's not happening in our Commonwealth today, and it is wrong. It is wrong. I got in this issue because of economic inequality, and we've got to address it. We've got to be honest about it. It's why I support single-payer health care. It's why I support free public college, lifelong, with apprenticeships and internships. It's why I believe we've got to get a governor that believes in privatization and no new revenue. I'm just talking to Carmen's union, right? This is what we're seeing. This is a governor who just this past week, in the State of the City state address, everyone applauded him. The next day, he proposes removing 140,000 people off of Mass Health, and he's trying to affect 400,000 employees of our state, their health care, by changing the GIC radically. This is wrong. It's the wrong direction for our state. He wants us to embrace low expectations and the status quo. We can no longer accept that. And that's what this election is about. We could do something about it in the fall. That's why I'm in the race. I want to earn your support. Thank you very, very much for being here and all the work that you're doing for next year. Thank you.
Okay, so one more thing. What's your website?
You said that to me last year. SettiWarren.com. S-E-T-T-I Warren, W-A-R-R-E-N.com.
Thank you so much, Setti. So,